big announcements for Midnight coming up next week. We're going to get the big cinematic trailer and all the stuff about all the things that are coming in Midnight, which is exciting. And there's a lot of big things coming in terms of the Eastern Kingdoms and the revamp of the world. We know all of that's coming. So here we go. They are going to remake Azeroth again. Midnight, and wow, this is insane. Let's see what Ebonheart has to say about this big revamp of the world that is coming in Midnight.
We are going back to Quel'Thalas. Now, if you've been following any Midnight news, you see these zones and you think to yourself, wow, finally back to the Warcraft 3 campaign where Arthas went from the Outer Elf Gate all the way up through the Dead Scar.
True.
Right here to the Inner Elf Gate where he killed Sylvanas, and then Sylvanas shit on the lore because the jailer came out of nowhere, RKO'd the entire Lordaeron story, and then he went all the way up here.
It's true about the jailer. I can't wait to see what Blizzard does with the Dead Scar. I mean, this is such a lore-heavy thing, right? It's existed in the game since we've been playing World of Warcraft, because this event happened pre-World of Warcraft. This was a Warcraft 3 event. So the Dead Scar being there, and Silvermoon getting rebuilt, which I assume means their front gate is going to be repaired. No longer will it be destroyed and sitting on the side. If you ever again went to Silvermoon, you don't enter through the front gates when you enter Silvermoon as of right now, because that has been beaten down by the Dead Scar when Arthas came through with his Scourge. So we've never properly entered Silvermoon. So that'll be exciting if we actually get to now go through the front gates and see the majesty of it all as it was meant to be seen. But the Dead Scar itself, will it heal? Will the Ghostlands heal? I don't know. There's a lot of badass lore here that happened with Ashbringer and, fighting against the Scourge and everything. So many cool things. Will all of this stuff be changed and look like it's been healed now over these years? Because now, how long has it been? What, like 20 years? Right? 20 years since the Dead Scar came about and all that stuff happened. So maybe it's healed at this point.
Went through Silvermoon, destroying it, sacking it, killing 90% of the Blood Elves. Then he went to the Sunwell and he pissed...
If not longer than 20 years, because Warcraft 3 came out long before World of Warcraft did, so it's probably plus 20.
Over it. And that's how we got World of Warcraft. Now, that's a very shitty summary, but we are going back to this entire location in Midnight World of Warcraft. We are going to see Tranquillion, probably as a brand new reputation, remastered. We're going to see the Inner Elf Gates and the Outer Elf Gate. We're going to see the Ghostlands, Eversong Woods, all the zones, Silvermoon City, the Isle of Quel'Thalas.
Oh, I can't wait.
Aman.
Isle of Quel'Thalas. And if they got a Bridezilla over there running around, a Broadzilla killing everybody like it was back in that was a PvP heaven. I played on a PvP server back then. Damn it, doing quests on that freaking island was unbelievable. Me and my friend used to log on at the same time to make sure that we could fight against the Horde, because that shit was crazy. We had this damn druid named Broadzilla who would just fucking run around stealthing all the time, popping out of nowhere and killing people. That was all he did. I don't think that guy ever quested on the Isle. He just killed people all the time. That was a crazy time, man, to play the game. And then, Zul'Aman, I can't wait. I hope they bring the Amani Trolls. I hope Amani Trolls become playable. I don't even play Horde, but I want them to become playable for the Horde. I think that would be really cool. And then a Zul'Aman, like a revamped Zul'Aman. Get the revamped Tiger Mount in here. Oh, the revamped Raptor. So many good things coming out of this if they do fully revamp this. And then, a comment in the chat about hope we can fly in the zone. I think it'd be insane if they remake Silvermoon and we still can't fly there. That'd be great. I think there's a guarantee we're going to be able to fly in these new zones. Or these revamped zones.
All of these Blood Elf and Troll zones are going to be completely and utterly redone for Midnight World of Warcraft. So now that we've gotten facts out the way, right? Because that's a fact. They're redoing this stuff. We are going into a hypothetical, a deep dive discussion on the battle between the Void versus the Light and what that means for all of these zones, all of these locales.
Okay.
And is this going to be 4 zones right here? Or is all of this one giant zone and the other 3 zones are interesting new locations in Northern Lordaeron? Now, this is Northern Lordaeron. You have Thranduil Pass right here at the bottom.
Thranduil Pass, yeah. So Thranduil Span, you go through here. It looks so much lore. This part of the world has so much lore. The northern part of Eastern Kingdoms is freaking badass. I mean, how do you beat this? You got the Alturic Valley. You got Tirisfal Glades, Silver Pine Forest, Gilneas out here. The Plague Lands. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. Lordaeron, come on. How can you beat this? Hillsbrad, Tolbarad. Oh, man. I need more of this. I need more of this, and I'm so glad that this is where we're going to spend the expansion. Because I just think in terms of lore, this is such a lore-heavy zone in the game.
Right? This is
where we spent Warcraft
the
3.
orcs invaded northwards, or actually they went through the sea right here, through a couple of islands over here. Zuldar somewhere over
Arathi
here.
Highlands.
Still not in game. But, you know, a whole bunch of things happened down here. They landed in Hillsbrad.
Yeah, it's up all the way. I don't know what's going on with the volume. I turned it up as high as it'll go. Crap.
The invasion, the path through Alterac, where the Alterac kingdom betrayed Lordaeron and sided with the orcs during the Second War. But effectively, the entirety of northern Lordaeron has effectively been abandoned, forgotten, since, for the most part, Cataclysm. They haven't really gone back. They've done some little secrets here or there, Uther's tomb, some secrets right over here. A couple of different locations have been tweaked and enjoyed for, like, for example, Legion or other expansions. But this has been, for the most part, forgotten, unused. But in Midnight WoW, it's a battle between the Void and the Light. And this isn't even me coping. We literally saw the leak about the Midnight WoW's edition, of what comes when you get the Epic Edition.
Yeah.
Void versus Light-themed items and mounts and cosmetics and transmog.
Right.
So, we're looking here, and we see 4 potential zones. The entirety of Northern Lordaeron. So that would be Eastern Plaguelands, Western Plaguelands, Tirisfal Glades. 1 zone. You would then have Alterac, Silver Pine Forest, and New Gilneas, as well as South Shore and this area right here, as 1 new zone. And then the 3rd zone would be the Hinterlands and the Arathi Highlands.
He might be right in terms of, like, story, like when we're questing through these zones, that there might these zones might be attached to each other via story quest line chains and stuff like that. But I don't think they'll remap the zones themselves. I don't. Because these are historic zones. I can't imagine them just getting rid of some of these names from the game. A lot of historical things have happened in these places. Man, Scarlet Monastery's here too. I forgot about that. Isn't Dalaran also the old spot where Dalaran used to be? Isn't it right here? Yep, right there. There's so much good shit. So much good lore in this zone that they could play with. I'm so excited to see what they do with it. And I don't think they'll combine the zones, but maybe quest storylines will take you through those combinations of 3. Also, I really, really want to see what happens to the Plaguelands, because it is the way it is because of the Scourge. If the Scourge is no longer a problem, have the Plaguelands healed.
And all of this would be redone into 3 zones, especially with the 4th
Same
zone
with the Ghost
being
Lands.
the Blood Elf and the Troll zones up north. Now, you guys are thinking, but why would they do that? Why on earth would they revamp all of this? This looks really cool. Do you think Blizzard would actually go out of their way to put all this energy and effort into remaking only Northern Lordaeron? I do, and I believe this is going to happen. And my reasoning is simple. The Arathi Empire is the faction of light. They're on the side of good, the faction of joy and peace and light and order, whether you like it or not. Which means the Arathi Empire returns to the Arathi Highlands. They have a ginormous, powerful, mysterious empire we know nothing about. And that's likely going to play
That could tie in. He's right. That could tie into the whole Light Emperor thing on the other side of the world. Maybe they're reestablishing themselves in the Arathi Highlands. If you don't know anything about the Light Emperor, there's this whole backstory right now going on with the Arathi people and their other empire that they've set up on the other side of the world. They were the original human kingdom in Azeroth as we know it, and supposedly a bunch of them still exist on the other side of the world, and they're like super light zealots, and they are being led by this guy known as the Light Emperor, and he's over there doing his thing. Maybe they start to reestablish themselves in the Arathi Highlands. We'll see. They are the people that the Hallowfall people are from. The people of Hallowfall that we know, those paladins ventured over from this other Arathi Empire on the other side of the world.
Major role in Midnight WoW. Cool. So all of you are saying, all right, sure, the Arathi Highlands, I could see that 1 zone being remade. What about the rest of this? Well, the battle between the Light and the Void is most honestly showcased between the Undead, the Forsaken, the Light having abandoned a lot of them. For example, we have Undead Priests, or Forsaken Priests and Forsaken Paladins. There is a story arc there that hasn't really been touched upon. Arthur's Menethil set the stage to alter the future of all of these zones.
And imagine they give the ability to make undead paladins. That would be crazy. And it could happen. I could see it happening if we go through this lore and really deep dive into it. I mean, we already have undead that can play with the light, right? You can make a holy priest, an undead holy priest. That exists. And there's lore behind it. That like when they use the light, it burns them a little bit. If you remember, there was the whole short story talking about how they brought Calia Menethil back to life. right? All that stuff that happened. What's his name? The undead priest in that storyline. He talks about how he uses the light and how, it's like an internal struggle sometimes when he's using it, but he embraces it anyways. So yeah, undead paladins could be happening for sure.
Down here, all the way up north to over here.
Yeah.
Every single element of this place
Callius
has been touched by Arthas. You know, he's done a lot of bad things, right? Let's be real here. Arthas is probably one of the biggest bads in regards to the consequences of his actions to Azeroth. And right here,
did he do anything wrong?
We have the rest of the Eastern Kingdoms. All the potential zones that could be expanded upon to make way for troll lore, dwarf lore, and elf lore, and also human lore, right? We have Gilneas.
Oh, a lot of human lore.
Down here, we have the remnants of Grimbatol and the dwarves, the airy dwarves, right? And they went up over here to the hinterlands and made their own airy peak and all this stuff. But there are so many locations in Azeroth, just the Eastern Kingdoms alone, that could be redone, that have purposes to be redone as zones. This isn't even counting Avalon on the other side of Azeroth.
Yeah.
Technically this side. The other side of Azeroth, going all the way around the world, because Avalon is another mysterious location that the Earthen have something to do with. Now,
right.
All of these zones have...
That is supposedly where this Alteric, this empire, right? This Arathi empire is located, where the Light Emperor currently sits on his throne.
One major thing. It is meant to be the penultimate battle between light and void. Midnight WoW's whole purpose is the void fighting the light. And knowing Chris Metzen and knowing the stories he's spun before, there is no good guys here. The light is just as evil as the void, because the void's purpose is to consume and turn off the light. The light's purpose is to ensure that there is no darkness and to snuff it out completely. Eternal hunger versus eternal purification. The whole point of the light is...
neither side has us in mind in terms of who's going to benefit us the most. Neither side cares about us. We're just pawns in their game. So if the void can turn us into help them, devour everything, sure, the ever-hungering void would love us to help feed it. And then the light just wants to, take away your free will. Just turn you into a light zealot who will serve the light and do what the light wants you to do at all times, anytime.
Cleanse the galaxy. We're also part of that cleansing once the light's done with
I think
the
it's
void.
pretty good.
The old gods are just minions of the Void Lords. We see the size of the Mencius. He's a big boy, right? Bigger than Stormwind, 3 times bigger in fact. And we know that this major battle that's coming is going to change the landscape of Azeroth. Yeah. Will we get multiple zones in the Eastern Kingdoms? And I am going to bet money here that the Eastern Kingdoms is the primary focus of Midnight WoW.
I think that's
We
a good
already
bet.
know the final battle is at the Sunwell. We know that means 12.2, the final raid, is a battle at the Sunwell.
Probably.
Okay, cool. A battle at the Sunwell. So what? Well, actually, the battle at the Sunwell also ties into the Last Titan. Whoever wins there changes Azeroth. The Last Titans, the whole point of the story, the trilogy, which leads into 14.0, which is WoW 2.0, a full reset or a revamp or whatever. Nobody exactly knows what's going to happen with WoW 2.0 with after the Last Titan and the World Soul Saga. So I'm not going to discuss that in today's video. That's a whole different topic.
It's an important topic because we've seen what happens when you don't transition out of your big saga ending, big bads are gone moment. It's called Marvel. And they have not been able to pick up their story ever since Thanos was killed off. Spoiler, if you didn't know that happens. So going around and, handling how this is going to end, and more importantly, handling the transition between what happens in this story and what happens in whatever WoW 2.0-ish is going to be, it's probably going to determine the future of this game.
Different deep dive. Now, we've come back to this image because I want to showcase my thoughts, my opinions, my personal beliefs on what I think the first major zone and hub is going to be. Silvermoon City is now a neutral hub because the battle between the...
Accurate. Been saying it from the very beginning. Silvermoon will be the hub city of this expansion.
Alliance and the Horde,
which I can't wait for. I think
they're
that's
not
awesome.
going to rehash that story or that battle or that entire storyline. It's done. The Horde is run by the Council of all the races. The Alliance is also, supposedly Anduin, but what has Anduin been doing these past few months? Like, Anduin, where are you? You were crying at the beginning of the War Within trailer, and now you're gone. Has anybody seen Anduin? Like, I know your dads are dead, but you're the king of the Alliance, of Stormwind. You have a duty to all your subjects. You can't just leave and cry. That's not what a king does.
It's interesting. We'll see what happens, because Tyrellion's been leading the alliance, and obviously Tyrellion is very much light, aligned. He loves the light. He is a light zealot. So to see where the alliance goes with this, could the alliance play both sides? Not if Tyrellion's in charge. He's not going to like playing on the void side. Now he does have. Obviously, he likes to finger pop the void every once in a while because Illyria plays on the void side. Now, they may have not interacted with each other intimately in a long time because they can't really touch each other if you've read the books right now. But she might be able to convince him that, hey, it's not all about the light. The void's got its thing, and we need to be neutral and just try to fight for Azeroth. We'll see how all that plays out. And Anduin needs to retake the throne. I don't know how that story's going to play out, but it should at some point.
So nonetheless, Anduin is coming back. Silvermoon is a neutral hub. Revamped, rebuilt Silvermoon, neutral city. I expect it to be a horde zone somewhere here. The horde has a troll hub over here somewhere, and then somewhere over here is like an alliance hub, like right about here somewhere. And then, you have your different little cities and factions. I'm sure there's a battleground here somewhere. Tor Watha's probably going to be turned into some horde-friendly troll alliance or something like that. The Blood Elves and the Void Elves and the High Elves are back. I expect High Elves to be a playable alliance race. That's just my opinion.
I think they should. I hate that Blizzard made Void Elves customizable to the point where you can make them look like a High Elf. I think that was kind of like a cop-out from giving the Alliance actual High Elves. If they give the Alliance High Elves, I hope they have different customization options. They have the tattoo options, like Illyria pre-Void entering her and all that stuff. I just want them to look a little bit different than what we typically see with a Void Elf. Make them look, I don't know, a little bit buffer, maybe. I don't know. They've kind of been running around the forest these last couple of years, so just make the High Elves look different. Give them tattoos, give them different facial structure a little bit, give them different customization options. That's how you bring the High Elves. And on the opposite side, give the Amani trolls to the Horde. I think that's an important one. I don't know if the Alliance gets any trolls out of this. Lately, that's what Blizzard's been doing. Like, hey, let's have races on both sides. Let's give dwarfs to both sides. That's what they did with the Earthen. Maybe we get trolls on both sides. I have no idea. But I hope at a minimum, the Horde get the Amani. I think that's an important one.
I think they're going in the direction where Horde versus Alliance does not matter anymore.
Even though they hate the Blood Elves.
Earlier, it's completely, absolutely done. This whole conflict is about the future of Azeroth. And the future of Azeroth does not have the Horde and the Alliance conflicting any longer. It doesn't fit in with modern World of Warcraft. Heck, it doesn't even fit in with classic WoW. Look at Mr. Pandaria. When they tried to merge the servers in Cataclysm Classic, everybody freaked out. They want to stay on the 99% Horde or Alliance servers. World PvP, for the most part, has gone to the wayside. Nobody really does it anymore.
True.
And in retail WoWs, devs know that. Chris Menton knows that. Everybody knows that. The future of retail is PvE, hand-holding, friendliness, and love, but also grim darkness of 40k. I'm joking. But the grim darkness of the Void versus the Light is the major focus. And that is making sure that we go back to all of these old zones and completely redo them. I expect 12.1 will be Avalon. Like, let's be real here. We're going to Avalon on 12.1.
That makes sense.
12.2 to be Zul'Aman again, because we can only kill the troll so many times. Because
Avalon, I don't know. I think Avalon will be the WoW 2.0. I think that we will save Avalon for the reset of WoW post the World Soul Saga. So I don't think it'll be the first thing. I think Zul'Aman will be either the first raid or the second raid. I think we're going to go back there. We're going to do a bunch of shit. It'll be fully redone, and Amani trolls coming back, all that stuff. Whatever happens with Zul'Aman, it's probably going to be something around, there's going to be a faction of the Amani trolls that have gotten over their differences and want to join the Horde, and there's going to be the faction of trolls that don't want to, and they're going to try to hold up in Zul'Aman or something like that. We got to go in there and raid it. That's probably what happens.
Look at this, and you think to yourself, how many times can we teach you a
Zombie
lesson,
returning?
old man?
Maybe.
Because guess who's coming back in 12.2? That's right, you heard it here first. Zul'Jin's back, and now he's lost both arms, and now he's a kickboxing legend, and he's gonna kick the shit out of all of us.
It's ridiculous.
Except we take both his legs, and now he's a paraplegic. He's gonna have a wheelchair and everything, and then Zul'Jin joins the Horde as part of the Horde Council, great. And we unlock the Forest Troll allied race. But anyways, thank you all for watching this really, really bad rant about the future of Midnight WoW, the zones, what's coming, what things look like. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Did you like this video? Like and subscribe. If you hated it, understandable. Dislike, but also subscribe. Don't be a half-assed hater, be a dedicated hater. We full-ass our hatred on this channel. Thank you all for watching. Evan Hart out. Peace.
Yeah, overall, not a bad video. Not a bad summary there. I've never watched one of these Eben Hart videos before. He seems like a cool guy. I'll link this in the chat so you guys can like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Look, I think a lot of these things are going to happen. I do think the transition to WoW 2 is going to be an important one. But I'm just very excited to go back to the top of Eastern Kingdoms. So much lore there, so many heavy stories that have happened in the past, and seeing the full revamp of anything and everything is going to be very exciting. Nice video.